tell you about the time I wrecked Judge's new car. And the way he got it was he inherited that new car from our Granny Freeman, my daddy's mama. She had passed away. Judd, being a teenager, still there at home, the only one of us is old enough to drive. So Dad, I guess he put that car in Judd's name. I don't know, but that's what Judd was driving. That was his car, one way or another. Yeah. It was almost to the house, and Judd pulled over. He says, "Here, you want to drive the rest of the way home?" And I was just a dumb kid. I'm pretty sure I was 12 years old at that time, just a dumb idiot. I mean, my head was empty. My skull was pretty much empty, I knew so little. I think from about here all the way up, it was empty. So I said, "Sure." I didn't know how to drive. I didn't know how to drive than I know how to read Egyptian hieroglyphics. So, oh sure, oh boy. So he scooted over to the passenger seat while I got up and walking around the car to get in the driver's seat. I got in the driver's seat. Here we go. I mean, as I started the car up, here we go. And all of a sudden, I needed to brake to slow the car down because I was just fixing to go down a sharp, kind of steep little hill that crossed a creek, and there's no guardrails of any kind on that road. It's just water washing right across that road. And I freaked out. The brakes wouldn't stop the car. I wanted to stop at that intersection because you're supposed to stop and look. Check these places right over here where the road forks off. It forks off like this, like that. And here you are over here. You're on this road over here, stopped. And you're waiting to make sure these roads here are clear before you can come down. Well, here's the little hill that come down, and there's the creek. Well, I was back over here, and the car wouldn't slow down or nothing. I had my foot on the brakes. It just kept on rolling, and I panicked, and I jerked the wheel, and the car went up on the embankment. There was an embankment there, and it was steep enough and big enough that it made the car. I went up on that embankment like that, and it made the car roll over like that. And you wouldn't think that would have been a big enough bump for the car to total it out. But it got towed into wherever, and the report that we got back was that yes, the brakes had gone out, and let me see if I can remember. Yes, the brakes had gone out, and it turned upside down. But that does not explain why that simple of the car was moving slow. I mean, it was moving pretty slow already. And it just went up on that lot like that and just kind of laid over like that. It wasn't a violent crash, strangely enough. Yeah, I believe the Lord protected us and I blacked out as I saw the car going up the embankment. I knew we was in trouble. And the first thought flashed through my mind before I passed out was, I'm going to die. And I was blacked out. Next thing I knew, I was climbing out of the car, and And I was panicking and running down the road. I was thinking, I got to get to the house. Because the house was down that little place and then down the road, just a short block. And then right there, you go across this road. Here's kind of an intersection here. You in this first driveway, this very first driveway on your left. That was my dad's driveway. That's where we lived. Wasn't very far at all. That's how close we was to the house. Now just think, if Judd hadn't got a sudden idea to offer to let me drive, that wouldn't have happened, and he would have had that car for who knows how long. I mean, see, the history of his life would have been changed to something different if. I mean, you could go if then, and if this or with that. You know how that goes. Well, you know what I mean. You can do that on and on for the longest time, and you ain't going to come up with any other answer or solution than that. Yep. There's so many things I want to do that pertains to needlework, needlecraft. I want to do some sewing. I want to make some quilt blocks. Applique. Like an applique out of embroidery faces, you know, and just a few little details of embroidery. But make it applique quilts. Oh my God. Animals and flowers and beautiful, wonderful things, old-fashioned things. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to lay down here, and my belly's full. I don't need nothing, but I'm sitting here thinking about getting another one of them delicious Nutty Buddy bars. Chocolatey, chocolate with a little peanut butter on a thin, crispy wafer. Real light wafer. It's easy to crunch through with your bare gums. Now, how do you like them crab apples? Look here, you see my earring? Can you see it? I've been sleeping with these earrings on, and for me, that's not very comfortable because the backs of them, see the back of it? Can you see the back of it? That stabbed me in the neck behind my ear. Can you see it? And, you know, that's how they do. So, I just want to roll over, just kind of adjust my ear where it's okay. You know, get it adjusted and sleep. But it's kind of a pain. But I don't want this ear to grow back, and I'm sure that it would if I took this earring out. I'm sure that it would, because it has always grown back on me, always over the years. Except for this one. This one's never tried to grow back. But ain't that weird? But just this one. Now, ain't that weird? Just now realize how weird that is. It's bizarre. Well, I guess I'm going to make myself sick eating another Nutty Buddy bar. And hopefully I'm going to fall asleep here before too long. Oh yeah, Cactus Health Clinic called me today. They said the doctor wants to talk to me about my lab results. And that's my general overall, blood work checks for various things, And, so that means there's some bad news. And I'm hoping it's not going to be about my kidneys. Because they've been telling me about my kidneys. Last doctor that was here, she told me I had stage 3 kidney disease. Well, we're all going to die from something. There's no sense in getting all worked up over it and feel anxious about it and scared and all sorrowful and stuff. No. I'm going to be going to heaven to see Mom and Dad. Because Jesus is my Savior. But part of me is still scared. I don't know why. It's just my general anxiety problem, I guess. Oh, God. Scratch that stuff out of my leg there. Oh, that psoriasis builds up real thick, the tight, the skin cells, they pack together and it's like they're super glued together. Every layer of skin, it's just super glued to another one. And that's why that plaque psoriasis is just so hard to get out of the skin. It's kind of super glued itself in. All that dead skin cell buildup in there, that's what the plaque is. Oh, I gotta rake some of it out, a little bit of it right here. It builds up real bad in this area, and it'll go to bothering me, and I've got to scratch it out. And there's a ton of it in my knees. God, it hurts. Oh, gotta get that stuff out. And it feels better when I get that stuff out, because it needs to come out. Oh, it needs to come out. Damn, it's hard to break it out with my fingernails. I need something better. I don't know what it would be. Anybody have any advice? Dang, it's bad. Oh, I just scratched it till I got blood on my knee. I want to let the dog lick it off. She likes to lick the blood off whenever I scratch bloody somewhere. Usually somewhere on my legs. So, well, I'm going to have to say good night, y'all. It's time to go to bed. Good night, y'all. Bye.